mosquitoes, which spread diseases like malaria to my loved ones. This year, I'm not afraid. I'm using Mortein Doom. Mortein Doom All Insect Killer provides protection in seconds. Not even a single mosquito is spared, because even one mosquito bite can cause malaria. Mortein Doom provides protection in seconds.
Welcome to Safaricom Sacco, where we use innovation and technology to enhance customer experience. Did you know that you can join Safaricom Sacco? Membership is open to individuals, and corporate employees can also be enrolled on checkoff. As a member, you save and enjoy affordable loans at favorable interest rates and mortgage facilities. Visit our website or chat us on our website for more information: www.safaricomsacco.com, or call us on 0111 2226 or 0111 222227. Safaricom Sacco, empowering you. Alupe University College in Busia County, a science-oriented university with schools of health sciences, science, education and social sciences, and business and economics and human resource development, all incorporated under the science, technology, engineering, arts and mathematics STEAM approach. Continuous online registration of first years for 2020-2021 ongoing. Online digital teaching is on. Final end year examinations for continuing students starts 12th October 2020. Blended learning for academic year 2020-2021 starts on 9th November 2020 for the first years and 17th November 2020 for continuing students. Visit our website www.auc.ac.ke or call 0722 345 603 or 0724 400 189. Alupe University, the bastion of knowledge.
And margarine. New look, same great taste.
The new Maisha Aluzinc Mabati from Maisha Mabati Limited. For the first time in Kenya, a roofing product that combines aesthetics with proven resilience. Its unique combination of aluminium and zinc gives it a 5 times longer lifespan than normal Mabati, thanks to the excellent state-of-the-art mill. It has 20 years lifespan, it's easy to install, it's flexible and durable, it stands up to severe weather conditions, has good abrasion and rust resistance, it's affordable and is approved by the Kenya Bureau of Standards and is available countrywide. It can be used for all applications. Always insist on Maisha Aluzinc Mabati, a product of Maisha Mabati Rolling Mills, Ruiru.
This is NTV.
Now, after a 7-month break, schools reopened today to grade 4, standard 8 and form 4 learners. A new normal for the learners occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic, with the safety of the children top of everyone's mind. The students will continue with learning until the 23rd of December, when the second term will come to an end, before proceeding for a 1-week Christmas break. We have a comprehensive coverage on this, but first, our top stories.
Tonight, the writing is on the wall. School looks a lot different this year.
We have found the need to have a qualified nurse who will be residential here.
But it's the same old norms for others. the private lessons, the public pains, and the first day of school unlike any other.
Watu wameiba desk, wametengeneza mizinga.
Also tonight, the long walk to realizing gender rights. Lawyers serve Parliament with notice to vacate over its failures to pass gender laws.
Any person who until today was an elected member of the National Assembly or the Senate has ceased being an elected member. He or she is a trespasser.
Plus, an order out of order, regulations on public meetings and the red flags for media freedom. And also tonight, the truckloads of trouble-facing truckers at the Isebania border post. The taxing times ahead for cross-border trade.
Well, thank you for choosing NTV, and joining me on the sign language interpretation is David Agondoa. Now, the government is now calling on parents with learners in other grades and forms to begin preparing the children for resumption of learning in 2 weeks' time. Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha says the phased resumption of in-class learning has taken off smoothly across the country. But as Bridget Sengana now tells us, some parents are still skeptical for safety reasons.
Pupils at Kaptembwa Primary School in Nakuru answer to a roll call that assigns them to new classrooms on the first day of school, nearly 7 months since they were last here. In the phased reopening, learners, teaching and non-teaching staff must have their masks on at all times, social distance, and frequently wash their hands at the designated sanitation points. The numbers are low in some schools.
Kwa saizi tuko na karibu watoto 800 katika kwa hii shule. Lakini kama wangekuja wote tunatarajia watoto 927.
Since morning I've received more than 20 parents requesting to be given chance, both in grade 4 and others requesting their learners to learn here.
But many parents are still concerned about the safety of their children in crowded public schools now that coronavirus infection numbers appear to be on the rise.
Na tunahofia, unajua watoto wa grade 4 ni watoto ambaye huwa wanasikamana na wengine. Tunahofia kwamba hii ugonjwa inaweza tuadhiri. Mtoto akipata ataletea wale wengine wako nyumbani watoto wake.
Sasa wengine bado kufikia sasa wanapika simu nasema, "Mwalimu, silete mtoto wangu, nataka nione hali vile inaenda kwanza." Nadhani hiyo ndiyo imesababisha watoto wengi, hata mashule mengine nasikia kwamba watoto hawajafika.
The ministry is now asking parents of children with any pre-existing conditions to inform the administration for extra caution and emergency response.
And school heads, both principals and head teachers, and all the teachers, that unless a child has a pre-existing condition, unnecessary school visits by strangers should be voluntarily toned down for the time being. I am assured, and I've been assured, that all schools have been linked to health institutions. And this is important because in the event that you suspect that a child has fever, the fever may still be from malaria or any other condition.
The first day of learning across public schools in the country seems to have kicked off seamlessly, and even here in Nakuru, it is not an exception. Ordinarily, public schools usually receive a lot of pupils, and what this coronavirus pandemic has revealed is that these schools should brace for more pupils since some private institutions have shut down. The government now says other grades, classes and forms will resume soon.
We have opened now for just about 3 classes. I think we should be bold enough to continue to observe them. for about 1 or 2 weeks before we decide as to whether we can risk having larger numbers.
Schools could also be required to compile a biodata of all learners should there be a spike in COVID-19 infections.
All right, thanks, Bridget Sangana there. Well, meanwhile, a significant number of private schools have yet to reopen for physical classes, not so much for safety reasons, but because of the economic constraints from the COVID-19 pandemic. There are fears that this may lead to the closure of a number of such institutions, which are now asking for the government support. Leila Mohammed has more.
For most private schools, safety remains a major concern as learners resume physical classes. At Eldo Baraka Academy in Eldoret, the administration has set up 2 isolation centers in the case of an emergency. But there are CBC lessons which require some level of contact, the administration now says.
We have some health personnel who have been assigned to the school. We are in contact with them.
Miles away at Tender Care School in Nairobi's Eastlands area, not much is happening, but beyond the quiet aisles, the administration is getting ready to receive learners from Tuesday. Social distancing is a priority here.
In the normal learning times, our classes have a capacity of 35 learners, a carrying capacity of 35 learners. But in the new normal, we want to achieve 20 learners per class.
In Busia County, all was quiet at the St. James ACK Academy in Malaba. But as they prepare to receive learners from Tuesday, they are not yet at ease, and it's all about the money.
Corona ilipoingia tulianza kulipa walimu wetu miezi miwili tu. Changamoto kubwa sana kuna maneno ya fedha, kulipa mishahara yao. Tena kuna mambo ya barakoa. Wizara ilikuwa inatuuliza kwamba tununue barakoa na hatuwezi kununua barakoa maana hatuna pesa hivi sasa.
About 200 private institutions have reportedly indicated that they would not open for resumption of learning due to financial constraints, whereas some private schools are asking parents to cough up more money. The Kenya Private Schools Association says the gravity of the situation won't be clear until Friday.
A lot of them did quite a good number of innovative solutions to stay afloat, to keep their teachers having some small amount of income, and we commend them for thinking outside the box. But as students come back, we have to remember that there are health and safety measures that have to be adhered to. We have been asking for a bailout fund, a COVID intervention, to help schools get back onto their feet, and we are still waiting for this intervention. We have seen the government put in similar interventions for the tourism industry. We have seen them do it for the SMEs.
Then there is the question of syllabus coverage and how to address the inequalities that were exacerbated by the online mode of learning introduced during the break.
For the private schools, where some people have tried to equate reopening with those who had online classes, we want to make it very clear that all children will start from where they left. So even if you make so much noise, if you send a child home because the child did not engage in online classes, that is criminal, and we shall come for you. The fact that it's a private school does not protect you.
The fate of the KCPE and KCSE candidates in private schools that may have to shut down completely remains in limbo. Leila Mohammed, NTV.
But as thousands of learners across the country troop back to school, some who may wish to do not have the privilege. In Baringo and Busia counties, excess water from lakes and floods have submerged schools, causing fears of animal attacks and waterborne diseases beyond the threat posed by COVID-19. Ruth Sarmoe is in Baringo and will be filing that report in just a short while. We'll be getting that in a moment. But across the schools we visited, learners are returning to a new normal, one where hygiene is paramount and physical contact, which is characteristic of school activities, is forbidden. Learning institutions have been directed to put in place preventive measures, closely monitor their learners, and set up emergency response initiatives. Kevin Mutai has more.
Minutes past 7 a.m. Monday, and grade 4 and standard 8 pupils are ushered into a new normal at the Star of the Sea Primary School in Mombasa. But first, temperature checks before being led to hand washing stations, then a lesson on observing the preventive measures. Parents all the while watching anxiously from a distance.
Tumeona mazingira yako sawa, madarasa yamepangwa vizuri, hizo sanitizer, mambo ya kuosha mikono iko sawa.
Tunachoomba zaidi ni magoha kuangalia pia hawa watoto wengine ambao wamebaki nyumbani. Manake pia wanalalamika wanataka masomo. So vile tumeanza na hawa class 4 na 8, tunaomba hata wengine waweze kufanya mipango na wakaweze kurudi shuleni ili watoto wakaendelee na masomo yao.
In some schools, posters have been mounted on walls and notice boards raising awareness on the importance of wearing face masks. At the Aga Khan Primary School, walkways are marked with social distancing signs. The risks are ever present.
Co-curricular activities and school assemblies, with all humility, should be restricted, taking into account social distancing protocols.
We say we are ready for now to receive the children, but most of the other protocols will be put in place as we continue receiving the children.
Some schools have gone an extra mile by setting up isolation centers.
We have found the need to have a qualified nurse who will be residential here to just make sure that she takes care or he takes care of all the needs of the students.
But some parents remain skeptical about the decision to reopen schools, fearing for the safety of their children. Kevin Mutai, NTV, Mombasa.
A new normal indeed, and we'd like to hear from you as a parent, as a guardian. What do you think of these new measures in the back to school after that long break occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic? You can talk to us on our social media platforms at NTV Kenya, at Zainab Ismail. The hashtag is NTV Tonight. Now, the picture was, however, different in some schools as learners returned to the old at a time of a new normal. Naoma Sampao looks at some of these alarming cases and the risks they pose.
Ahmad's lesson is underway at a public school in Busia County. The eager learners seated in the usual manner with less strict social distancing. But worse still, there are no face masks. Not for the closely spaced learners, nor their teacher, a far cry from a directive by the Ministry of Education on strict adherence to preventive measures. Only this young girl in the entire class brought her own. It is this kind of risks that endanger the lives of learners as they resume physical classes. At St. Monica Girls Primary School in Lodwar, the gates are open for resuming learners. Students arrive in numbers for the first day of school in nearly 7 months. But alarmingly, the learners do not appear to be observing preventive guidelines, key among them wearing of face masks at all times. The ministry says teachers are responsible for monitoring strict adherence to the laid out guidelines.
Schools must ensure mandatory use of face masks, monitoring of body temperature.
Education CS George Magoha says social distancing may be difficult to achieve in schools. He, however, maintains that the time to resume is now.
And the schools I've been to this morning have made me very happy indeed. I have also repeatedly said that although physical distancing shall be and shall remain a challenge to us, it should not, and I've been reassured by the teachers, that it is not going to be a bottleneck to our resolve to open our schools for our beloved children.
Some parents, more so in hard-hit areas, have opted not to send their children back to school for fear of infection. For some, the tough economic times make it difficult to purchase the necessary preventive equipment for their children. Naoma Sampao, NTV.
An ambitious crash program to enable schools recover the 7 months, children spent at home due to COVID-19 could see children spending longer days in class and forfeiting most of their holidays. In our Daily Nation tomorrow, read about the choices teachers will be forced to make following a directive by the Ministry of Education to be innovative. UK retailer Tesco suspends deal for supply of avocado by Kakuzi over a court case citing human rights violations. Also, Mombasa and Nairobi are staring at a second wave of COVID-19, experts warn. Don't miss your copy. Well, remember, you can continue engaging us on the school's new normal. The hashtag is NTV Tonight at NTV Kenya at Zainab Ismail. And away from education matters and to another issue of national concern, the Law Society of Kenya has today made good its threat to storm Parliament buildings in a bid to push for dissolution. LSK says the House is illegitimate for a number of reasons, key among them failure to enact the 2/3 gender principle. Gina Kirari reports that the House clerk is asking for patience.
The 20 members of the Law Society of Kenya, led by President Nelson Havi, headed straight for Parliament buildings to voice their discontent with the House for failing to enact laws enabling the implementation of the 2/3 gender principle. The group was first denied access to the precincts due to strict COVID-19 preventive guidelines, and later, only 4 were allowed in. They presented their case before the clerk of the National Assembly, Michael Sialai.
Good people require laws to act responsibly, but bad people will find the way around the law. This is the house where laws are made. The residents of this house should not require the law. Above all, a court order.
But while acknowledging the argument, the clerk called on the group to wait for the due process to take its course.
Obviously, we cannot be reaching water and taking wine. No, I want to assure them that we will work together. The conversation will go on. Let us maintain law and order. Let us allow the courts to work independently. And whatever comes out of it, Parliament, in fact, cannot dissolve itself. Somebody else has to initiate that process.
And once the meeting was over, kind gestures were extended. The umbrella body of lawyers says the law is clear on what happens next.
That effective today, Parliament is illegitimate.
It would be completely unadvised for Parliament to continue with business such as appointments while it remains unlawful.
I urge the President again. The Constitution is clear. Follow Chief Justice Maraga's advisory.
LSK adds that their call for the dissolution of Parliament is based on multiple reasons, including failure to hold the executive accountable. They want legislators barred from using public resources. From tomorrow, any member of Parliament found on these grounds will be considered a trespasser, as the Law Society of Kenya says that they have declared their seats redundant. The LSK further says that they will be coming at a later date should the orders not be followed through. Gina Kirari, NTV, Nairobi.
All right, thanks, Gina, for that report. And we are heading into a fast break on NTV Tonight, but first, our moment of calm. Take a look at these two whales from a Shanghai aquarium taking their first swim in open waters as part of the acclimatization to a sea sanctuary. The whales left the Shangfeng Ocean World in June 2019 and were flown to Iceland's Klettsvik Bay in specially tailored containers. More than a year later, they were again moved from their land-based facility to care pools in the sea, the first time they had been in the sea since they were taken from a Russian research center in 2011. We'll be right back.
Get fresh, gotta get fresh. Down is your boom boom pow, down is boom boom pow. Smells baya na uchafuzi na zidi na improve downy. Protect nguo zangu na nukia niko safi. Lazima niwe fresh na down is boom boom pow. Boom boom pow, down is new boom boom pow. Smells zote na zi boom boom pow. Powerful freshness, down is boom boom pow. Nani 15 bob too?
Hello, Susan. Yes, you. Holding that pack. I know you've been avoiding me because in the past I've made you uncomfortable. maybe even caused you pain. But I want you to know that I have changed for you.
Aye, what is this?
You can love me again if you're willing to give me another chance. Meet me at aisle 4. Hey, Susan.
It's lactose free.
We know you love milk, and now there is milk that loves you. With Gold Crown lactose-free milk, you can enjoy the richness of natural cow's milk without any of the digestion discomfort. Gold Crown lactose-free, milk that loves you. Fresh Fry Premium Cooking Oil now has a new look and an advanced spout and seal. Triple refined, zero cholesterol, and natural vitamin E. Fresh Fry, always heart-friendly. Now it's even more cooking-friendly. Fresh Fry, the premium cooking oil for healthy living.
Happy anniversary.
Mbona hii mabati ya kina dad na mam bado inakaa mpya? Na hii nyumba imekuwa hapa for so many years. Na pia umelelewa hapa.
Wow, imagine hata nilikuwa sija notice. Rufus,
wewe ni fundi wangu wa miaka mingi sana. Haya mabati yatadumu kweli?
Huyu kijana nilimwambia anunue mabati ya Dumuzas.
Usibahatishe mabati. Hakikisha umeangalia alama za kudhibitisha Dumuzas halisi. Chagua Dumuzas, mabati inayodumu kudumu. Isitoshe, Dumuzas ndio mabati pekee inayokuja na warranty.
Sitaki tena kubahatisha.
Last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. Brilliant Kipchoge from Mohamed Salah. Been chopping trees. I done something new for this fight. Bad. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
For the women who deserve more, Moped is now in Kenya and more than 40 countries. With its nylon-free surface, new Moped has unique softness and up to 100% protection. Your skin will love it.
Jack Bogosian, you're on the air.
Why did you quit?
I stopped believing in lies.
We should have stopped.
Your company killed my family, killed my entire town. You will remember them.
Can you find me someone to send down there? I need someone to find out what happened, and you come highly recommended.
I want the world to know the wrong that was done.
There is $1 million for you to make this disappear.
I believe they're worth $1 million each. All we can do is search for the truth and defend it.
Are you looking to settle your family in an affordable, clean and serene environment? Get your value-added plot at only 1.295 million shillings. We also have flexible payment options of up to 12 months. Call us today on 0790 300 300.
All right, well, thank you for staying with us. Let's just take a look at a story that we had aired earlier on. And as thousands of learners across the country troop back to school, some who may wish to do not have the privilege. Well, in Baringo and Busia counties, excess water from lakes and floods have submerged schools, causing fears of animal attacks and waterborne diseases beyond the threat posed by COVID-19. Ruth Sarmoi was in Baringo and filed this report.
At Loruk Primary School in Baringo South, learners are tidying up the compound and classrooms in readiness for resumption of learning. But adjacent to the school, danger lurks. Excess water from rising lakes in the region pours into the surrounding area and bringing wild animals along. We find parents at Loruk erecting a barrier to stop the wild animals from crossing over to the school compound with learners in session. Only 4 out of 29 KCPE candidates showed up for the first day in school. COVID-19 is the list of their problems here.
Leo hatukuja na watoto kwa sababu tuliona hapo ni dangerous. Lazima sisi wazazi kwanza tutangulie, ndiposa watoto hawakukuja wote.
Shida yangu sasa ninapokuwa nyumbani itakuwa mbaya nikikaa nyumbani nikifikiria jinsi mtoto yangu anaendelea kwa shule.
Up to 7 schools have either been submerged in this area alone. As government urges learners to resume physical classes, locals here do not know where to begin.
One problem we have is that pit latrines are no longer there. So, and also you see our school is a boarding school. Now that we don't have the dormitory for the boys.
Maji ni machafu kwa sababu choo zishalete uchafu juu. Maji watoto hawawezi kunywa. Pipe ilikatika. Pipe ilikuwa inatokea ndio hii pipe. Hakuna vile maji inakunywika saa hii kwa hii shule.
Worse still, facilities and learning equipment have either been destroyed, vandalized or stolen.
Shule walipoacha shule, desks zimevunjika. Hakuna desks, watu wameiba desks, wametengeneza mizinga. Hakuna desks ni chache. Watoto watafanya namna gani?
We have a piece of land which is a bit raised. But we don't have the physical facilities. The toilets are not been constructed. We are waiting from the government.
As pupils of Loruk Primary School wait to be transferred to another facility, dangers still lurk at the waters of Lake Baringo, which is heavily infested with crocodiles and hippos. But there are safety and logistical concerns.
I've asked the area assistant chief to use the Nyumba Kumi officials to look for the children and encourage them to come to school, because I know they are waiting to hear that have others reported. Others have reported. Let all of them report tomorrow.
Miles away in Budalangi, Busia County, flood waters greet us at the gate of Musoma Primary School. The school is partially submerged and infrastructure destroyed. Now learners cannot resume.
Tafadhali, serikali itusaidie hii njia ni kidogo, tutengeneze hata kama ni kesho, wazazi na watoto na walimu wapitie juu.
Ruth Sarmoi, NTV.
Well, it is the unfortunate situation in some areas as schools reopen. Beg your pardon. Now, the Law Society of Kenya has moved to court seeking orders reversing a recent public order on guidelines for conduct of public gatherings. LSK argues that the enforcement of the order is selective and an infringement of civil liberties. These sentiments have been echoed by Deputy President William Ruto and his allies, who are the perceived target. Kennedy Mureithi has more.
The hit caused by the adoption and enforcement of the public order and public gathering released by the National Security Advisory Committee continues to stoke many fires. The Law Society of Kenya has made good its threat of moving to court to challenge the enforcement on a myriad of grounds, including infringement of freedoms enshrined in the Constitution. Chairman Nelson Harvey wants the matter urgently dispensed with and the order suspended. LSK says the guidelines have been applied in a discriminatory and selective manner to suppress divergent opinion and have thereby been abused by the second respondent, who is the Inspector General of Police. LSK further notes that the order seeks to limit the rights and freedoms of and or to an opinion expression, freedom of the media, association, assemble, demonstrate and campaign for a political cause, and therefore unlawful, unconstitutional and invalid. The case now in court, supported by sentiments from the Kenya Media Sector Working Group, an umbrella body that represents journalists working in different spheres, which argues that the guidelines, especially those touching on media working, are retrogressive and unnecessary interference in the work of the media and access to information by Kenyans. The Inspector General of Police says that he has noted the complaints on the selective application of the law, but promises to continue doing so, as he believes that there are some meetings that are meant just to cause violence. Deputy President William Ruto and his allies have repeatedly called out authorities for using the Public Order Act to curtail their freedom of association and assembly. They accuse the police of being used to advance a political agenda, but the government is having none of it.
Let us not turn Kenya into the animal farm, where there are some that are more equal than others. The law must apply equally across Kenya, irrespective of who is leaning towards which or what direction.
Inua kwa jina lako tukufu.
The Deputy President spoke as he met the clergy from South Nyanza at his Sugoi home. Kennedy Muredhi, NTV.
Nyinyi bariki.
3 bodies have been recovered from Lake Victoria out of the 6 people who drowned after a boat capsized on Friday night. The bodies retrieved are that of a sailor, a female from Uganda, and a 9-year-old. Police and the Coast Guard, who are involved in the retrieval, say that the search for the other 3 remaining bodies continues. Reports indicate that the recovered bodies may, however, not be buried yet due to traditional beliefs which bar kin from proceeding with burial plans until all bodies are recovered. And turning our focus to the COVID-19 situation in the country now, and 73 new infections have been confirmed in the last 24 hours from 2,001 samples. Infection numbers have now risen to 41,619. Unfortunately, 11 more patients have succumbed to the disease, bringing the death toll to 777. At the same time, 97 people have recovered from the disease. Total recoveries now stand at 31,097. The new cases are distributed across the counties of Nairobi with 34 infections, Kilifi 18, Mombasa 11, Busia 4 and Taita Taveta 2 cases. While in Nairobi, the 34 cases are from Kibra and Westlands with 3 cases each, Dagoretti North, Dagoretti South, Embakasi Central, East, North, South and Embakasi West, Kamukunji, Langata, Makadara, Mathare, Roysambu, Ruaraka and Starehe with 2 cases each. Elsewhere from the courts, a 28-year-old actress was today charged with robbery with violence. Mary Muki Kioko is suspected to be the leader of a criminal gang that has been using social media to lure men who are later tortured and robbed. She's accused of robbing a victim of 453,000 shillings while armed with a knife. DCI investigators say she is usually the bait in the online dating sites. When men honor an invite to a house, they are held against their will and beaten throughout the night. Her 4 accomplices were arrested on Sunday in a house in Ruaka in Kiambu County, where they were trying to rob a Turkish national who had been lured to the house for a date. Well, time for another break here on NTV tonight, but take a look at this. Pictures of the sunset in the Contraband Bayou waterway in Lake Charles in Louisiana, just a day after Hurricane Delta pounded the area. Scientists agree that global warming has made hurricanes more frequent and violent, and the coastal regions of the United States, like Louisiana, are therefore more likely to be hit by stronger storms each year. Business News is up next. Stay tuned.
For a better tomorrow, don't forget to do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate every night.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Every time Gran arrives, she always has a small reward for her.
I made this for you today.
Ah, thank you, my baby. It's so beautiful. Wow! She's happy, and I trust it because it's made with milk and other carefully controlled ingredients without any colorings or preservatives. Care has been taken to make it. I love to see her happy because it meets her taste and fantasy. Kinder Joy, my trust, their joy.
Hey! What is yawa?
What is that? Is that, could that be a fire? At this time, where is that kijana?
It's just our school alarm. We are practicing to go back to school.
And who is going to pay those fees?
We understand that you might not be ready to go back to school, but at Naivas, tuko rada kurudi shule. Our shelves are fully stocked and prices greatly discounted for you to make that quick and easy return to school. With thousands of back-to-school items, price cuts on your Chuo favorites, and points to score on your Naivas card, you'll get going for an A+ term at all Naivas branches countrywide.
Mom, tuko rada.
Labda Naivas, wewe na kichwa yako bado inalala.
Just like our bank account.
Tuko rada kurudi shule na Naivas, the back-to-school that's safe on your pocket. Naivas saves you money.
With the Stay Soft refill, saving money is as easy as snip, pour, mix with water, and shake. Stay Soft refill. It's 2 liters of Stay Soft for up to 30% less.
Melissa? Mom, it's Dad's birthday today. I'm giving him a party just like he gives me.
Nothing makes a mother more proud than seeing her child growing up. But I know that as she learns to care for others, she'll face even more germs and the risk of illnesses.
That's why you need strong Dettol protection. Just 1 cup of Dettol protects your home and family from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
The Dettol range is available on Jumia. Shop safely and conveniently today.
The new Maisha Aluzinc Mabati from Maisha Mabati Limited. For the first time in Kenya, a roofing product that combines aesthetics with proven resilience. Its unique combination of aluminium and zinc gives it a 5 times longer lifespan than normal Mabati, thanks to the excellent state-of-the-art mill. It has 20 years lifespan, it's easy to install, it's flexible and durable, it stands up to severe weather conditions, has good abrasion and rust resistance, it's affordable and is approved by the Kenya Bureau of Standards and is available countrywide. It can be used for all applications. Always insist on Maisha Aluzinc Mabati, a product of Maisha Mabati Rolling Mills, Ruiru.
Let's get down to business. Welcome, I am Julians Amboko, and let's start at the border points. Now, cross-border trade at the Isibania one-stop border post has come under the spotlight as truck drivers level claims alleging harassment and demand for bribes by officials attached to the Kenya Revenue Authority. Kenya Revenue Authority has vehemently denied the claims, terming them as unfounded and a retaliatory scheme by persons who smuggle goods and livestock into the country. These are some of the trucks parked alongside the main highway connecting Kenya and Tanzania here in Isibania town. Traders allege that this is just another indicator of the extent to which non-tariff barriers stifle the 62 billion shillings formal trade between Kenya and Tanzania.
Sio ng'ombe, sio mbuzi, sio viazi, sio avocado, sio mchere, kila kitu. Yaani custom ikikushika hapa ni hivyo. Hawapeleki watu kotini. Ukibebo kama saa hii gari walikuwa wanaitisha 300,000. Tani 12 yote hakuna.
Morris Juma, one of the traders here, is not a happy man. He claims that frustration by officials attached to the Kenya Revenue Authority is threatening to result in the waste of his avocado fruits worth 150,000 shillings collected from local farmers.
Hii gari yangu tuenda nikapakia avocado. Ikajaa hii lori imejaa. Nikatoka mali nimepakia mzigo nikaleta kuja kunywa mafuta. KRA wakakuja wakanipata nikikunywa mafuta. Wakang'oa number plate ya hii gari. Wakati wameng'oa number plate, nimejaribu kuongea nao wakakataa.
The Kenya Revenue Authority, on its part, has denied the allegations. In a statement to NTV, the authority says that it is facing retaliation from persons who have been nabbed for attempts to smuggle goods into the country. KRA further says that it has stepped up its internal investigations in the recent past, and in 2019 alone, 187 investigations were conducted, with 51 staff sent packing owing to questions on integrity.
Hapo tunahangaishwa sana hapa. KRA inatuhangaisha vibaya sana. Kule biashara mbele inaweza kufanya bila hongo. Wanachukua mpaka 170,000.
The traders are now calling upon the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to look into this matter and help resolve it in a speedy fashion. And let's cross over to the capital markets, where it was a rocky start for the trading week for shareholders of listed agriculture company Kakuzi, who lost 98 million shillings in paper wealth during Monday's trade, which saw the counter close at 380 shillings, down from Friday's 385 shillings. The company's share price came under pressure as news surfaced that British retailer Tesco had suspended supplies from the company pending investigations into alleged crimes on its estates dating as far back as 2009. In a statement, the management of Kakuzi has indicated that it has asked the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions to investigate the allegations of criminality and take action in accordance with the law. In the half year ended June 2020, Kakuzi reported sales worth 890 million shillings, with net earnings standing at 273 million shillings. The alleged crimes include rape and persons being beaten to death. And on to matters retail, operators of retail chains and their suppliers have submitted a revised code of operation to the Competition Authority of Kenya as a step towards mitigating recurrent financial distress in the sector. Once gazetted, the code of operation will serve as a guide for payment between retailers and suppliers. The market regulator is now expected to review the same and forward it to the Office of the Attorney General for processing for gazettement. This comes even as Naivas continues to widen its footprint in the market.
2 months after Naivas raised 6 billion shillings of capital through the sale of a 30% stake to investors, including the World Bank's investment arm, the IFC, the retail chain has opened yet another outlet targeting the city's high-end market. The retailer's aggressive expansion comes at a challenging time for the country's retail sector. Nakumatt and Uchumi supermarkets have already shut down. Tuskys is staggering with unpaid suppliers and workers, while foreign operators such as ShopRite and Choppies have opted to exit the market. Naivas Supermarkets management says it is exercising caution not to expand its own detriment.
You're taking the steps carefully and making sure that we do not just open a store for the sake, but you're actually opening a store that meets a need. So ours is a solution. Are we providing a solution within the current market? Yes. So what's the solution? What exactly is there? And that's why when you come to this store, you'll see our focus on fresh. We want to sell that. We want this to be the everyday shop for the current shopper.
If you look at across the whole world, supermarkets, they make a profit of about 6%. Out of 100 shillings, 6 shillings, it's their own. In this country, it's only 3 shillings. And they usually have this challenge. Maybe they think they are 100 shillings. It's all their money. And then they use that to expand because of deepened competition.
Benchmarking against the largest retailer in the continent, the management of Naivas feels there is still ample room for market-driven expansion.
ShopRite has 2,640-something stores. We're only doing 66 stores. We are far off. The issue is, do we have our model right? Do we know our customers right? Do we expand without actually tripping?
According to the Competition Authority of Kenya, only 4 out of 27 supermarkets in the country had issues of delayed payments to suppliers as at April this year. Victor Kiprop, NTV Business.
Many thanks, Victor Kiprop, on that report. And that takes us to the close of business. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.
Get fresh, gotta get fresh. Downy's new boom boom pow, Downy boom boom pow. Smell fire na uchafuzi na zidi na improve Downy. Protect nguo zangu na nukia niko safi. Lazima niwe fresh na Downy's boom boom pow. Boom boom pow, Downy's new boom boom pow. Smell zote na zi boom boom pow. Powerful freshness, Downy's boom boom pow. Nani 15 bob too?
Credit to you if you stay at home. If you must shop online, use your NCBA credit card. Stay home. Stay safe.
looking for products to protect ourselves from viruses, but not all products protect us. Did you know that using Dettol soap and water protects against viruses? Many viruses are surrounded by an envelope with receptors that enable them to enter a human cell and cause infection. Dettol soap destroys the outer layer of the virus and effectively removes it. Protect your family from the spread of viruses with Dettol. Dettol cleans and is now tested and proven to be effective against COVID-19 virus. This has been Medivax for Dettol.
The Dettol range is available on Jumia. Shop safely and conveniently today.
Like every mother, I'm worried about dangerous insects, especially mosquitoes, which spread diseases like malaria to my loved ones. This year, I'm not afraid. I'm using Mortein Doom. Mortein Doom All Insect Killer provides protection in seconds. Not even a single mosquito is spared, because even one mosquito bite can cause malaria. Mortein Doom provides protection in seconds.
When I was in prison, I thought a lot about you.
This is not acceptable!
We know you love milk, and now there is milk that loves you. With Gold Crown lactose-free milk, you can enjoy the richness of natural cow's milk without any of the digestion discomfort. Gold Crown lactose-free, milk that loves you.
Ah, Helen Paul.
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I've been using it for years.
Oh, madam, the regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains removal. Harpic's thick formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergents and bleach.
Wow, now I'm convinced, Helen Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that she's part of the mission, the next house is yours.
Thank you for staying with us, and on to some sad news. Bernard Maurice, better known by his stage name Othwal, succumbed last evening at the Kenyatta National Hospital after a long battle with tuberculosis and a brain tumor. Tributes from several of his colleagues and fans have been streaming in, with many saying that his death has left a dent in the entertainment industry. Gina Kirori has more.
Born 30 years ago, Bernard Maurice, also known as Othwal, was born in the capital city before his family relocated to Ugenya village in Siaya. His relatively quiet life would change when his entertainment career began to take off. From an actor on the TV show Anti-Boss, which airs on NTV, to a regular stand-up comedian on the Churchill show, Othwal's star was rising. In February 2019, Othwal took a break from the entertainment scene and later narrated how he had been suffering from tuberculosis, which left him unable to perform simple tasks such as household chores. Othwal also explained how the treatment had drained him financially. As messages of outpouring love and support began to stream in, Othwal maintained that he was ready for what was about to come his way.
When you are sick, you are in the road. It's either I make it or I die. Either I make it or I die.
Let me hear you say I.
During the interview, Othwal stated that he planned to be back on stage in mid-January or early February next year. Unfortunately, Othwal passed away on Sunday 11th October at around 5 p.m. at the Kenyatta National Hospital, where he had been receiving treatment for the past 2 weeks for a brain tumor as well as kidney complications. Daniel Churchill Ndambuki, as well as Othwal's fans, friends and colleagues, have posted their tributes on social media. Gina Kirari, NTV.
And our deepest condolences to his family, friends and his fans across the country and of course outside the country as well. A big tragedy in the entertainment industry. Sports news is next after this break, but have a look at this. On a rocky outcrop in an Ecuadorian nature reserve, a pair of prolific Andean condors are giving conservationists a glimmer of hope that this species, under the threat from poisoning and hunting, could yet survive and thrive. Normally, these long-lived monogamous birds reproduce slowly. A mating pair usually produces a chick every 2 or 3 years, but this pair has one young per year. Scientists have been watching them for nearly 7 years. We'll be right back.
From far with you. I even gifted you a magnificent house. Rosa, it's the thought that counts. Please help me.
When it comes to fever, you need to be both. Panadol Baby and Infant starts to work on fever in 15 minutes and is gentle on the tummy. Panadol Baby and Infant, tough on fever, gentle on your child.
Ajali katika sekta ya bodaboda zinaendelea kuongezeka kila siku. Chanuka na Bodaboda Insurance imeletwa kwako na Chanuka Fintech wakishirikiana na Credit Bank na kuwezeshwa na M-Pesa. Kujisajili kwa Chanuka na Bodaboda Insurance, bonyeza *277#, weka shilingi 200 kila siku kwa siku 10, alafu ufuatilie na shilingi 50 kila siku kwa miezi 6, au ufuatilie na shilingi 300 kila Friday kwa miezi 6.
Are you looking for the best study opportunity for you overseas? Then don't miss the Uni Abroad IDP Study Abroad Virtual Expo on Monday, 12th October from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Top dressing tips. Ensure the tea plantation is pruned. Split application is done twice at different times of the year. For tea, scatter the fertilizer around the tea bush and ensure the soil is loose. For coffee, broadcast the fertilizer around the circumference of the coffee branches.
Please feed your crop and soil with the best fertilizers for future prosperity. Call us today and learn how Mavuno Fertilizers is helping in increasing food production in Africa.
Deserve more girls. Nolly cash, nolly cash, nolly cash. We need a big change in our lives. Do you think this is a girl? No. Let them know. Let them know irritation. Let them know. Let them know irritation. We need a
For the women who deserve more, Moped is now in Kenya and more than 40 countries. With its nylon-free surface, new Moped has unique softness and up to 100% protection. Your skin will love it.
Jack Bogosi, and you're on the air.
Why did you quit?
I stopped believing in lies.
We should have stopped! Your company killed my family, killed my entire town. You will remember them.
Can you find me someone to send down there? I need someone to find out what happened, and you come highly recommended.
I want the world to know the wrong that was done.
There is $1 million for you to make this disappear.
I believe they're worth $1 million each. All we can do is search for the truth and defend it.
Are you looking to settle your family in an affordable, clean and serene environment? Get your value-added plot at only 1.295 million shillings. We also have flexible payment options of up to 12 months. Call us today on 0790 300 300.
NTV Sport in association with Showmax.
All right, let's now take a look at stories making headlines in the world of sports. And construction of the historical Kirigiti Stadium in Kiambu County is officially underway after the national government injected 596 million shillings towards its upgrading. The groundbreaking ceremony was led by Sports CS Amina Mohammed, Kiambu Governor James Nyoro, and Sports Kenya Chairman Fred Muteti. The main stadium is designed to hold a capacity of over 15,000 people and should be completed in 7 months. The facility will also include 2 basketball courts, a swimming pool, an amphitheatre, netball and volleyball courts, and an athletics track.
We have given him the resources that are needed, which is about 596 million. To complete the project. The money had been earmarked for this project, and it has been ring-fenced, so there's absolutely no reason for delays.
We'll give the contractor all the necessary support. We have agreed that so that he can complete the project in the next 6 months, and then the president will come and inaugurate this project as another historic event on top of the many other historic events that has taken place here.
The marathon world record holder Eliud Kipchoge says he is now focusing on recovering ahead of the Tokyo Olympics next year. Kipchoge finished 8th in this year's London Marathon, citing a health concern. While today marked a year after the 4-time London Marathon winner and 2016 Olympic gold medalist ran in under 2 hours in the NU's 1:59 challenge in Vienna, in Austria.
So I was sure that I've already broke the barrier, and always celebrate and show the world that when you actually decide to go for something and you're really serious, you really put in your mind and your heart, then you can achieve it.
My biggest concentration now is to recover, to make sure I recover fully. Olympic Games is still in my at the back of my mind always, which will happen next year in Tokyo.
And indeed, we cannot wait to see him back on the tracks. Harambee Starlets head coach David Ouma believes that Kenya can qualify for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup, which will be jointly hosted by Australia and New Zealand. Coach Ouma has been following up on his players who have been training individually in isolation since March due to the coronavirus pandemic.
Tunasema player ambaye ako katika national team lazima kuange at 60% at least fit. So I think wata miss match fitness, but the individual training at least itawavuta kwa sababu walikuwa na train katika isolation due to the COVID pandemic. Na ukijua vile tulikuwa katika match tukicheza katika ile Turkish Women Cup. So nafikiria hiyo ilinisaidia kama kocha kuweza kuweka ile bar na kuwaonyesha kuwa ni vizuri kujitayarisha katika ile competition ambayo tutaweza kuwa nao karibuni.
Alafu kiangalia katika huu wakati wewe ndio kocha mkuu Harambee Starlets, soka kina dada imeonekana kupiga hatua kubwa. Akina Nete Kundu ameenda kule ng'ambo, mlinda lango bora kabisa wa Sekafa, Aquino, Ese Akida wako kule ng'ambo. Siri ni gani kocha wangu?
Nafikiria kitu muhimu sana, tunashukuru pia shirikisho letu na cooperation pia na government kuweza kusupport women football, na ukiangalia saizi at least players 11 wameweza kuturn professional. So mi kitu nazingatia zaidi ni wachezaji wetu ambao wanaenda professional wakati huu wanachukua fursa ambao wanapata pale katika national team, na hii ndio tofauti na inapea pia aspiration wachezaji wetu katika WPL, katika Division 1, katika mashule. So siri kubwa sana ambayo tuko nayo pale katika Harambee Starlets ni kila mchezaji ako na nafasi sawa.
Baada ya corona ni kama inatuondokea, unapangaje?
Ningesi wakina dada wetu wote ambao wanacheza mpira Kenya nzima warudi katika kiwanja waweze kutrain vizuri zaidi, kwa sababu wako na fursa kucheza katika Starlets, na sisi azimio yetu wakati huu tunataka kuweza kucheza katika World Cup ya 2023.
Well, Kylian Mbappe and Cristiano Ronaldo both failed to score as the World Cup winners and European champions played a goalless draw in a Group A3 match played in Paris. Juventus forward Ronaldo was quiet and remains on 101 international goals as Portugal were unable to repeat the Euro 2016 win at the On NTV tonight, this Monday, the beginning of this beautiful week, and the reopening of schools. We'll be capturing that even tomorrow, so you want to stay with us. My sign language co-pilot this evening was David Agondoa. My name is Zainab Ismail. Stay with us. We still have a lot more you'd like to view. Stay with us, and good night.
This is NTV.
I help women find independence by training them